Welcome everybody to another episode of Buried Pleasures. I am your hostess, Pollyanna Amazing, and I said I wasn't going to do it, but I'm fangirl geeking over the fact that I have the people that I have on my show today because I'm so enamored with the lives that they're living. It's fantastic. So, welcome, guys. So good to see you. Hi. How is the weather in Arizona today?
Hot, super hot, normal. We like it. Yeah. Look, we're working on our tan all the time. We're always swimming.
I love it. Fantastic. To introduce you, I would love it, Michael, if you could please introduce yourselves.
Well, we do something a little different, and so I will introduce Laurie, and she'll introduce me. Yeah. So this lovely, beautiful, very vibrant woman sitting next to me is not only the creator of the #1 best-selling book on Amazon, #1 international bestseller, Sex and Happiness, the Tantric Laws of Intimacy, but she's also a filmmaker. She has spoken all over the world. She is a very well-known sex and happiness teacher. She's my coach. She's somebody that I've learned Tantra from for the last 6 or 7 years now. And she is an extraordinary lover, a lover of people. And she's also my beloved and my partner, Ms. Laurie Han. And let me not forget, she's also the general of the sexual revolution.
Sure. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Michael. Oh, plus you say I also have a podcast.
Oh.
Podcasting for 15 years.
Yeah. So. The host of Sex and Happiness.
That's right. Yeah. And Michael Gibson is my partner and my beloved. And he is a former, he loves to refer to this. He's a former network engineer, which makes him kind of a tech geek. And he turned that into being a sex geek. Oh. So thank you, Reed Mihalko. So I said to Michael one time, after the first time we made love, how did you learn how to touch a woman the way you know how to touch a woman? And he said to me, I Googled it.
Well, I like
it. That's who he is. He's amazing. He's a fabulous partner in everything, in life, in love, in business. Yeah. It really does it better.
Wow.
Love you, Michael Gibson.
I love you, Laurie.
Gosh, I love the love up in here. This makes me so happy. I had the privilege to meet this wonderful couple in a wonderful retreat that they're putting on, Extraordinary Lovers. What's the rest of it? Is that the Extraordinary Lover Experience? Sorry, I wanted to make sure. Google Extraordinary Lovers Experience, guys, because I went to this as a solo practitioner, by the way. I didn't go as a couple, which if you are out there and have never gone to any sort of retreat that awakens you in a sexual way or any other way for that matter, start looking for some because damn it, they're amazing. I had the most amazing experience that I could have ever possibly hoped to. And I love that dinging bell. It's the greatest thing. It's like, I'm just so excited. But I wanted to bring you guys on the show because I think, obviously you have some really important things to share with the world. And the more people that we can share them with, the better. So, Laurie, if you don't mind, would you please just kind of slowly gracing us with your history of where you came from and where you are today, if you don't mind, please.
Just a real long winding road, but I'm going to make it the abbreviated version, the Cliff Notes version of it. First of all, when I was a kid, I was very precocious. I couldn't stop touching myself. Mm-hmm. And that made my mother and my grandmother very worried about me. They were like, she's too sexual. They were whispering to each other. I didn't know what they were whispering about, but they always had their eyes on me. And they were right to, because I was very curious about my body and about other people's bodies. So then we fast forward to first sexuality. My first sexual experience was at 18. Sucked.
Join the club.
It's terrible. If you were my first sexual partner and you're watching this show,
You know who you are.
You know who you are. Anyway, and then I had a series of partners, and I intuitively thought there was more to it.
Yeah.
You know, I thought there was a way to go deeper. I thought there was a way to like connect souls. And anyone I wanted to talk to about that at the time, I was 19, 20, 21, they thought I was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anyone that I was having sex with was like, yeah, just let's have sex. Right. And I was like, no, I think we should like go to a cabin for a week or two and like really delve into, like, for me, it was like a journey, like a mushroom journey, you know, like, let's go deep with each other. Anyway, they thought I was crazy. So roll them forward. In the 80s, I saw an article about Margot Anand in Yoga Journal, and she was talking about sacred sexuality, about Tantra. Right. And Yoga Journal was a magazine. There was no internet. Right. And I said, this is it. But who knew where to find it? Mm-hmm. It didn't really tell you how to get in touch with her or whatever. So I waited another 10 years. Yeah. And in 1996, after being in corporate America for a while and my body being like really attacking me, I had lower GI problems. I had two torn meniscuses in my knees, and my body was just rebelling against me sitting at a desk and working for corporate. Right. And someone called me and said, there's going to be a Tantra class in Silver Spring, Maryland. You should go to this. You're a mess. And I said, I'm going. And I went, and like everything opened up. The first day I was just like, oh, I remember who I am. Oh my goodness, I'm in a female body and I have sexuality and that's okay.
That's phenomenal.
It was a real revelation and a tremendous initiation for me. And then I said, well, this is it for me. I'm never stopping. And I was still doing like consulting to the government and consulting in corporate, but I was teaching Tantra on weekends, teaching on the side. And then the final piece is that George W. Bush got elected. I was working for the Clinton administration. I was doing welfare to work stuff. And George W. Bush got elected, and he took all those contracts and made them faith-based. That meant he gave them all to churches. Mm-hmm. I don't own a church, not going to own a church, not into it. And so I went, well, looks like I'm a full-time Tantra teacher. Sex always sells, and I'm not going to let the government take money out of my pocket.
Right.
And so I became, in 1996, 97, 98, I finished my teacher training and I started teaching. Like 98, 99, I started teaching, and I've never, ever looked back. My life is magnificent.
Yeah.
Well, and let's not forget that you're also, a teacher. Like you taught school too.
Oh yeah, I have a master's degree in education. I was an elementary school teacher. I was a high school teacher, and I was a college teacher.
Awesome.
And so I know how to teach. I said to my Tantra teacher once, she was like being picky with me about certain things. And I said to her, are you kidding me? You think you're teaching me how to teach? I'm just plugging your
information.
I'm plugging in your cassette into my brain, and I'm spewing out the teachings. Like, I know how to teach. Just give me all the information.
Right. That's one of the most impressive things I think about when I met you was you can command a room and you grab people not in a gentle way. You grab them up and just say, hey, this is it. And this is my life. And this is no excuses. I got that fucking bell, right? But it's so fantastic to have that and to have a strong female lead in that as well. Pretty fucking phenomenal. So keep continuing. Tell me, where are you? What are you doing now? What's happening? What's going on with you guys right now?
You should say, well.
We've expanded a lot, and thank you for that. I mean, we've gone from being on a world tour. We were moving towards a world tour
when COVID
in
2019,
and then 2020 COVID hit, and we were then literally forced to think about, well, how do we deliver this this brand new program that we had? And that's true. Extraordinary Lovers, we actually created that in 2019, and we began to roll it out at the end of the year, and then we started to move. We were going everywhere. We were literally going.
We were on a world tour and everything. One of my Israeli friends called and said, "Laurie, they're going to close the skies."
Yeah.
I said, "What?" He said, "You can't come to Israel." So that was the end of that. We put everything online.
Right.
Everything.
Right.
And we did it in a way, I think, that was really powerful. We were probably one of the first in our community anyway to just pivot and go online. And as we did, we started to get so many people coming. And the reason that we do this thing called Extraordinary Lovers Experience is because we found that when people experience themselves at higher levels or moving into the extraordinary, going from ordinary to extraordinary, they have this amazing visceral experience where they can take this into their lives. And so we started to do that online, and thankfully things have loosened up with COVID, and we're starting to see Europe has opened. And so now we're going back on a world tour. We're going to start this world tour up. Next month, we're going to Berlin. So if you happen to be in Europe and you want to come and experience Laurie and I, you do that, come to Berlin and join us. And that's going to be in August 11th through, I think it's the end of the month.
11th through 15th, we're in a festival.
Right.
Then I teach with Tantra Meets BDSM. Right after the festival. And then you and I teach Extraordinary Lovers the 27th, 28th, 29th of August in Berlin, Germany. And we're so excited.
Oh.
I mean, we're so excited to go again, to go somewhere.
We got Mexico scheduled.
Yeah.
I mean, in multiple places in Mexico, not just Mexico,
not just
Tulum or Cancun, or we're going to multiple different places. And we're also going to Cabo San Lucas, and we're going to do a little vacationing there and spending time with our friend Denisa. So we're all over the place. That's what's happening now. And
we're still doing it online.
And we're still doing it online. And there's a book in the making.
What's that about?
It's called Extraordinary Lovers, Sex and Happiness for Couples.
Mm-hmm.
And well, basically, we feel that most people, when they love each other, they go into the ordinary. They role model what their parents taught them, or what they see in Hollywood, or they do the same thing. They do the same thing over and over and over again, and they blame it on the partner, but the point is the finger should be going this way.
Right.
Who's the common denominator here? Me.
Right.
So if I want to have extraordinary love, then I have to be in partnership and keep calling myself to be extraordinary. Mm-hmm. And so that's what you experienced when you came to the course with us. We called everybody out on their ordinariness, whether they're arguing, whether they're fighting, whether their touch is just ordinary and they tolerate it. They don't even tell each other.
Right.
Right.
That's absolutely true. Yeah.
And so it's amazing. I just sorry to interrupt you, but it's just amazing, in all honesty, how friends of my show know Sunshine Ryan from Sunshine Ryan Tantra, and how she was just like, oh my God, if you don't go to this thing with me and meet these people, you're crazy, because this is going to be a great experience. And I'm like, oh my God, it's New Mexico in July. Who the hell? Why would I do that? But I'm so freaking glad I did, because in all honesty, listening to you both say, this is my life, so many times, I'm resonating so hard with that, because I would have never thought as a child, I grew up in Kentucky in the middle of nowhere, that I would be where I am right now and being able to speak to people who I would love in the future to go along that same path. Somebody that's, I dare say not hero, but just somebody who really makes me think that that's where I want to be. And so why would I not surround myself with those kinds of people, just like you're trying to do with your extraordinary lovers experience? Those are the people that you want to keep around you, because that's how you live your life the way you want to live it. That's phenomenal.
That's amazing, Polly. Thank you. And shout out, Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Love you. We love Sunshine.
Wow. I do too.
She is an amazing, powerful, extraordinary lover.
She is. Yeah. She is. And we've been in communication and relation with her for 4 years now, something like that. Yeah. She's been through almost everything I do. She's been through ISTA. She's been through my Sex and Happiness program online. She's in my apprentice program. She's just about to finish.
I know.
And she is a committed, powerful, and talented teacher.
Yes.
And we adore her. So thank you, Sunshine, for
thank you, Sunshine. But just to continue, so you've got all of these wonderful workshops going on, and you've got a new book coming out, or working on a book. Hopefully Michael got you something, your Alexis for your light switch. I'm just hoping. Anyway. Sorry, guys. Anyway,
Michael still fails to turn off the light.
Gosh, Michael, turn the lights off.
Just before we came on with you, we both showered, and then I looked out of my room and I looked down the hall and I went, "How come the middle bathroom light is on?" And he's like, "Oh, I forgot to turn it off."
Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to get you on that. But again,
that is ordinary.
That is so ordinary.
Turn your lights off. Do something special. Is there one thing about all of these retreats? What are the things that keep you going day after day after day? Like, I know, well, I mean, having obviously the most extraordinary love life in the world is awesome, but what are the other things? What are the things that you're seeing with the people who your participants who are coming to these, or what kind of amazing things are you hearing back from them after they complete your courses?
Go.
Well, first of all, this is good. This is the why. Why do we do it? So we do this because
couples are really
an endangered species.
They're an endangered species. It's
And so both my own relationships before Michael and my friends' relationships, whether they're married or living together or whatever, even my friends in the poly world who have many, many relationships, their complaints about each other boring. Like they act like teenagers when they get into relationships, like they regress into this. I just read something yesterday that Om wrote about men tolerating women screaming at them and being mean and emasculating them. I'm not going to say that only women do that. I mean, women do that to men, and men do this. This stoic thing. Like I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what she wants. She's hysterical. And what we do is we cut that open and we go, wait a minute. First of all, who's responsible here? If couples are an endangered species, I'm responsible for my part. He's responsible for his part. Whoever, if you're in a throuple, all three of you are responsible for your part. And if you are acting ordinary, if you're acting like your parents, if you're acting like a teenager, if you're not communicating, if you are withholding sex, if you're withholding affection, if you're making each other wrong, which, I mean, I've seen so many couples. We had lunch with a couple in Florida a few years ago who were keeping score. And they thought that's what we wanted to, we're eating lunch with them and they're telling us about their scorecard.
We're like, what?
What? And then there's so many, or that, like they yell at each other in the car. I had been in a car with a couple where both of their GPSs are talking and one is yelling at the other because the other's GPS is right.
Right.
So we said, we have something special. Like all of a sudden we woke up one day and we realized we have something special. I knew the first time I ever made love with this man that he was different. And I told him that, and he was like, he wasn't ready to hear it. It was a little scary for him, like he didn't want to be a sex educator. Oh my God.
I'm a network engineer. What are you talking about?
And
I'm a well-respected,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard this morning you have some dark magic or dark man stuff in you too.
dark masculine.
Dark masculine, that's it.
Yeah.
Who
And
knew?
totally. And I was not ready for what Laurie calls disrupting one's life. So,
I was disrupting his life from the minute we met.
You knew that coming into it too, right?
Yeah,
Like you knew
she let me know when we first met. That was one of the things after we vetted it ourselves. We looked at each other's values, which was really extraordinary, rather than looking at each other's interests.
Right.
So we took some time and we actually vetted each other. And part of that, when I asked her, within 5 minutes, I knew. I said, "Can we date? Should we date?" He said, "Yes. However."
I come with a warning,
Right.
a Surgeon General's warning. I will disrupt your life. I've disrupted the lives of many people. So I told the truth about it.
Yeah.
And he looked at me like, I don't know if he thought it was a gauntlet.
I thought it was a joke.
It was the same way as when he told me he was dark.
Right.
I laughed.
And what's funny is that, we're 6 years from that day, 6.5 years from that day.
Yeah.
And my life is completely transformed. I'm now working with men and couples. And what's so exciting about that is I came into this thing because Laurie said, you need to teach men how to touch women. You really need to you need to teach men. And so I started working on a program to be able to do that. And it wasn't well received by men because for some reason, men think they got it all figured out. Don't. And so we started working with couples, and that changed everything because as we were working with both the partners in the couple or the throuple or whatever you want to call it, we started to see that yes, men were much more open when they got the ability to actually have fearless communication in their lives, when they could express what it is that their desires were, their fears, and also their boundaries. Mm-hmm. And they could hold their boundaries without being punished for it. Yeah. So that became really powerful. And now I'm working with men, coaching them on how to be shamanic with the women in their lives, how to actually be of service to the goddess.
Yeah, that's a very cool message. Cool.
Mm-hmm. It's awesome. So we've saved marriages. We've saved husbands' lives for sure. We've saved them from going for the throat of their husband after 30 years. They want to kill them. We've saved, we've helped new people, people who have just met and they don't want to play games and they don't want it to fall into the same rut of whatever the last one was. We've helped them navigate actually having fantastic, relatings with each other. And I say relatings because we don't think relationship is the thing to strive for. We think we should keep killing the ship, sinking the ship, and that we should relate like the verb, to relate.
Right.
So we call it relatings.
Yeah.
And, we've really helped a lot of people. And listen, we've helped a few people break up.
That's right.
I just have to say, that the byproduct of this is sometimes in the course, people find out that they shouldn't be together. They have really different values. Yeah. They've been trying to fit each other into the wrong, the peg into the wrong hole.
Right.
And that they should break up. So a few people have broken up.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the people who've been through the course with us, or courses, because they've done a few. Mm-hmm. These people are madly in love. Mm-hmm. These people are hot for each other. Right. These people, they connect and they do the practices and they're
generating love.
Yeah, they're generating love. You don't know this probably, but there was in your class, there was one very endangered couple. And they left really falling in love with each other.
Right, yeah. Right.
They were at the brink of divorce.
It's amazing, and I often wonder what kind of people go searching for a class like this. Like who goes and finally has that light that goes off and says, oh shit, if I don't do something, my relationship is going to it's going to be awful. And then you talk your partner into going, and then you have this amazing time and you learn these amazing things. Do you think that there is a typical couple that you would rather teach, or are you just excited to see all ages, all, all everybody, that all the differences in people? Or do you think that you like just just the regs, the regular folks?
I'd love to answer this if I may.
There's nothing regular about
The key here is that we are really looking for couples who find themselves in that ordinary space. So that's a really, really big, right, swath of, the population. Ordinary, just living their lives. They wake up, they have breakfast, coffee, go to work, kiss on the way out, go to work, come back, do it all over again, over and over and over again. And what we've done is we've said, look, you can create your relating however you want it to be. You can actually add magic to your life. And if you're someone who's just, you're going through the motions and it seems to you like there's more, there's got to be more. Come on, I got in this relationship and, and Walt Disney told me that I could have, the most amazing happily ever after in my life. But where's my happily ever after?
Where's the prince and the glass slipper? I mean, where is all of that crazy stuff that Disney, where's the prince that I'm going to kiss? He was like a frog, and now he's going to become a prince. That is a bunch of BS, and you know it. Yep. They didn't have the skills to teach us how to do it. Nobody taught us that.
And Disney didn't call us. So we're doing this on our own. And when we're talking to people who are looking for something like this, it's really someone who gets it. Like, my life is kind of ordinary right now. I wonder what it would look like if I added some things to it. And that's all there is to it. The only thing you need to make ordinary extraordinary is a little extra.
Yeah.
It's what our friend Brianna says, low weight, high repetition.
Right.
You got to practice. It's something that you got to work on.
Yeah, you have to do it, and you have to want to. Yeah. So, I mean, the people we see are either they love each other, but they have neutralized their polarities. Mm-hmm. So they're friends, but in the bedroom it's not hot.
Right. And
they don't want to leave each other. They love each other. Maybe they have kids together, whatever, but it's not hot. They've like become best friends, but they're not, but they're like,
yeah.
Maybe one of them watches porn and the other one just says good riddance. I don't know. Then we also have the people who are fighting.
Yeah.
We have people who fight.
Those are the people I say are ready for a relationship rescue, right?
Which ones?
The ones that are fighting.
Oh yeah, fight. Then we have people who are fighting all the time. One of them is fit to be tied, and the other one doesn't know what to do. Yeah. Thinks they're doing the work, but doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Then we have
people who are actually getting it done in relationship and life, and sometimes their businesses are exploding and life is amazing, but the relationship seems to suffer because of it. And those are people also who find themselves really seeking us out.
Yeah, they're very successful, but they can't get it together anymore in their home life or whatever. There's not, again, the thrill is gone. The thrill is money making, but the thrill with you or me is
right. Right. Well, I met some amazing people at your retreat, of all walks of life and of all ages. And I didn't really know what to expect, honestly, because, you never know. And as a Tantra instructor myself, I find that teaching couples is so much easier for me than just trying to do single female or single male. So I like to see that interaction between the couples. Because I'm a little on the empathic side, I love to see love. I like to fucking feel it. It's visceral to me whenever I see it in front of me. So that was one of the best parts, I believe, of your retreat. This is just in my opinion. I'm sure that other people have a lot of other favorites as well. But and if you don't mind, Laurie, if I could ask you, can we talk about Lottie Han?
Yeah, we can talk about Lottie Han. I just wanted to say something about what you're talking about, which is we had people there who were in their early 30s.
We had people there that were in their 20s.
Oh yeah.
20s.
Yeah.
We had someone there in their 20s, and then we had somebody in their 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the whole gamut, the whole spread. We also had people who, we had pretty much straight couples, but some of the people in those are not
straight, right.
Vanilla white bread couples. Some are kinky queer, whatever, kinky queer, poly, everything.
And poly, and they came back and said, this actually is amazing because I can see how we can utilize all of these tools in not only our primary partnerships, but in all of the other relatings that we have. And that's exactly what we're going for. We want this to be utilized in every type of relating that you have, regardless of if it's poly or monogamous or monogamish or whatever.
The greatest thing that I'm poly with 2 L's for lots of love.
I like that. So then you asked a question. Then I forgot what your question was because I wanted to talk about the age range.
Oh, the Lottie Han. I just want to talk about that. Was my favorite experience was the Lottie Han.
Okay.
Honestly. Because I'd never seen that. I've never seen that done. I've never been in, part of that. And that for me was like, Jesus, that was an eye opener. That was
wow. We have so many forms of it. You have to come back for some other.
I'm totally going to. I'm bringing my husband next time.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So Lottie Han is it's a spiritual practice. That's literally what the word means. Latihan, Lottie Han. It means spiritual practice. It was created by a group called Subud in Indonesia, but it was a non-sectarian group. And I think Osho, who was a tantric master, took Lottie Han and brought it into the realm of tantra, thinking that people could make love in the unknown. Like, what would it be like to move in the unknown? What would it be like to make love in the unknown? Because most people are afraid of the unknown, and people get into a rut with making love. Like, they do the same thing over and over again. It gets boring. So when I learned Lottie Han over 20 years ago, I just said, oh, just like you, this is my favorite part. So I took Lottie Han on I took it as like my name. Some people in the world call me Lottie Han. I've taken it all over the world. I have taken that practice all over the world. And what it is
she's in Wikipedia, by the way.
I'm in Wikipedia under Lottie Han. I'm in Wikipedia for me, and I'm in Wikipedia under Lottie Han. More than the people who created it, because I love it so much, I've taken it everywhere. And so what we do is it's a practice where there's music. I don't know if the Subud do it like this. I've been to the Subud Center, but not for Lottie Han. Right. I had a film opening there once in New York. Anyway, we play music that it's not familiar. Mm-hmm. And then we stand blindfolded, waiting until movement or the impulse to move moves us. And we don't move until that happens. Mm-hmm. And then we move. And we're blindfolded. There's other people. We don't know if we're going to bang into them or not. We're moving very slowly. And then we have some interactions in the unknown. Right. And all of a sudden, the unknown becomes juicy, becomes fun. It becomes different. I look at it like the unknown becomes something to pray for. I don't want the same in my life. I want different. So Lottie Han has changed me because I used to want to control everything. I used to want to know what something was before I did it. Mm-hmm. I used to worry about making the wrong turn off of a freeway. Now I don't worry about any of that. It's just all Lottie Han. I just go. Yeah. And the idea is to use it as a practice so that you learn to make love in the unknown. You don't get into a rut or a groove, and then you learn to make love to life in the unknown. Yeah. So that's it. So I've created Lottie Han music. I have a Lottie Han CD where I teach people to do Lottie Han. They just plug it in and then they do it. Lottie Han has changed my life.
I will agree. I'm pretty sure that that's the reason why I wanted you on my show too, so that you can talk more about Lottie Han, so that I can bring that message to other people who may not have searched you out in the beginning. And that's what this is all about, is helping other people help themselves with loving kindness, guys. That's what we want to do here. And we want to help you. So look up Laurie and Michael and Extraordinary Lovers. Definitely.
And I think
they have a wonderful Facebook group.
We can give them.
We can give a free gift of Lottie Han. We can do, first of all, two things, Polly. One is you are welcome to use Lottie Han in your classes.
Thank you.
And if you need further coaching or instruction on that, I
do.
I have an instructor. And then I've just created new music that also has instruction in it.
Awesome.
I created it with a shout out to Eric Mandala, fabulous musician from Montreal. He created the music for me.
Awesome. That's so cool.
And we can give a free gift to your listeners, which is they go to lauriehandlers.com /unknown.
Okay.
And then they will get some guidance and some instruction in doing Lottie Han.
And I highly suggest that y'all do that, because take advantage of this because it's an amazing practice, and it really does. It helps you to open up to new ideas and new feelings. And it's such a simple and easy thing. It's almost, it's almost infantile in its ability to just, you're just there and it just happens. And you feel so good after. I felt wonderful afterwards. And I went through a gamut of feelings too. It wasn't just sensual, sexual feelings. At times I felt like more motherly. I felt like somebody could lean on me or I could lean on them. So I felt like, I felt like the nurturer and the nurtured, if that makes sense. So it was a really strong and powerful practice for me. And I really appreciate it.
Wonderful.
So great.
That makes me really happy.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea. But regardless, I know you guys have a really busy schedule today, so I don't want to keep you, but thank you so much. Please give yourself some media shout outs so that people can find you and let us know what's going on.
Well, you can find us on
Laurie,
Facebook.
Yeah, if you look up Laurie Handlers with an S, Handlers, HANDLERS. She's in Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the places.
I'm on TikTok.
She's on TikTok.
Oh, you got TikTok? I don't have TikTok yet.
And you can go to lauriehandlers.com and you can find, and we spell Laurie with 6 letters, LAURIE. I guess it's down here. Michael, I didn't put your name in here.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm
Michael Gibson. Anyway, you can find us on lauriehandlers.com. You can find Extraordinary Lovers there, Extraordinary Lovers Experience. We have a luxury retreat coming up at the end of the year in Mexico, in Tulum.
Tulum, Mexico.
And it's a week-long experience of Extraordinary Lovers. And you can come to that if you've done Extraordinary Lovers before or if you haven't. So, Polly, you might want to invite your husband to that.
I might do that.
And plus, we're going to do sightseeing in Tulum, etc.
It's going to be amazing.
But the other thing I wanted to say is if you are a Facebook user, you can request to become part of our Extraordinary Lovers group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look up Extraordinary Lovers Official on Facebook, and you'll find us there. And we're checking pretty much daily to see if any, we have quite a few people coming.
We're in communication there.
But we'll definitely approve you, and also you can invite people to the group, and we'll approve them as well, so long as you weren't like you just signed up for Facebook last week.
Right.
And
and it's a place of respect and openness, so you have to respect that too.
That's right.
If you don't want to be there, don't go there. But if you do, please go there. It's awesome. There's a lot of good content there. Well, guys, I just want to remind you that I'm Pollyanna Amazing, and this is Buried Pleasures. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Buried Pleasures. You can find me at Pollyanna Amazing. There's so many things, and I'm on all of the podcasting platforms. Please find me, and just remember, we are also part of Just Some Podcast Media family, which has my awesome friends at Just Some Podcast for Advanced Practitioners and also Nurse Papa. All right, guys, thank you so much for being on my show. This is a privilege, and I love you guys so much. I hope to have you back. And we're definitely going to have more talks. So,
thanks, Polly.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, guys, have a good day.
Just Some Podcast Media.